I'm here to talk to you today from a manufacturer's standpoint on what we need from you in order for us to sponsor you. Hey there, everybody. This is Heath. I am the Vice President at Four Oaks Products and an owner. And today I want to talk about how to get sponsorship from a manufacturer. And why I want to go into this is right now on Facebook and Instagram, I'm seeing hundreds of so-called coaches who are going to tell you how to post, where to post, why to post, how often to post, what to post, how many seconds you're supposed to post. What I have not seen literally anywhere, nowhere, is feedback from the manufacturers of what we actually want out of this deal. So before I start, one thing I want you to know is if you watch this whole thing, which I hope you do, I'm not selling you anything. This is free, you watch it or you don't, whatever. But it's important. And now also, I'm not talking about just me as a manufacturer. We have animal health products and we also have some human stuff. But I'm talking, so we manufacturers, we all get together at trade shows and they're 12-hour days. And just like everybody else, we all sit down and we start yakking and talking about stuff. And the biggest conversation for the last several years has always come down to social media and how we as manufacturers handle this. And I'm talking tiny little brand new startup companies to Fortune 500 companies. We're all literally sitting in one group and talking, and we go to dinner and we have the same conversations over and over and over. So it's important. So while you guys are getting all this, you're getting just hit over the head about how you're supposed to be doing it on your side to make your deal grow, if you're looking for sponsors and that's what's helping you grow and you're getting money or you're getting products, you need to be servicing those manufacturers as well. Otherwise it just doesn't work. So I've had a lot of people who we've sponsored and we've sent product to, and I'm literally just kind of hoping they do stuff, but I'm not really tracking it, and I don't do big whole long contracts like some folks do. So and I'm talking about people with very few friends and some with millions. So it doesn't matter the scale. These comments go to all channels. So let's start from the very beginning. Number one is every day I get 2, 3, 4 emails a day from folks who are looking for sponsorship. Now, that's great, but so many of these are just general. They're super general. They're obviously cut and pasted and thrown into Messenger or thrown into an email. And there's no conversation whatsoever about my products. There is a little pitch, and this is who I am, and then there's a bio. As a manufacturer, I want you to know my product. I want to know that you've tried it and you loved it, and that's why you reached out. So I want to know why you used my no thrush or why you used the natural release and how you used it, and maybe even send some pictures and show me the before and after and show me that you're enthusiastic about the product. Otherwise, all you're going to be doing is hashtagging, and it doesn't do a whole lot. So do your homework, make your time worth it in that when you reach out to us, you've actually spent some time and you know what you're asking for. That's the big thing. You need to know what you are asking for. Also, a little bit in the weeds, but it's never clear in the letters if somebody's looking for money or if they're looking for product and they want to, they love the natural release and they want to use it on their horse and they've seen huge results when they're barrel racing or they're jumping. Be specific. If you're looking for money, be specific. Say that you're looking for money because some manufacturers have money for that kind of stuff and some don't. Some are more likely to give product. So again, that's the weeds, but be really specific in your letters. Moving on. So now you've got a sponsor. Yay, awesome. What is it that we are looking for? What is the manufacturer looking for? So I'll be honest, a lot of folks, they do general posts. Now these are great, and I'm not dissing them at all. They're great, but they do general posts, and they'll list all of their sponsors, and they'll hashtag everybody. And that's awesome. You know, you get a hashtag for Four Oaks products. Yay. But let's be honest, your followers, your friends aren't digging through all the posts, you know, all the tags that you put on there. They're just not. They're giving you a like because it's an awesome picture and that's what they're looking at. So again, that doesn't necessarily help us a ton. Again, do keep doing those general posts. They're great. But what we really want as a manufacturer, as a product company, if we're spending money and time and effort to send you stuff, whether it's money or product, we want to actually see you using the product. So the general posts with the hashtags are great, but I want to see you taking the horse stuff and putting it on that hawk or that stifle and showing how you use it and telling your people why you're using it. Not only just, you know, hey, I use it and I like it, and give me a video of saying, hey, I'm putting this on the SI of my horse because blank. This is what it's doing, and this is what I see, and this is how it's making a difference. That kind of a video is going to tell your followers, hey, this is something that I might want to look at and do some research on, versus just a hashtag of a pretty horse. Or, you know, same thing for our human label, so natural release for humans. Show me putting it on your knees. Show me putting it on your shoulder and tell me why you're liking it and why it's making a difference. That's going to make a difference for us. So the more active you can be with your sponsors and with the products that you're getting for free, give us a reason to keep sending you new stuff. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of really great posts of our products. That one of them is a gal that we sponsor, Amber. She's amazing, and Amber, I hope you don't mind that I show this. And another one is just simply from a customer who sent this in, and she's a fan, and she sent this in and created it, and it's fantastic. It's awesome. I'm going to, and that's all going to be at the end. I'm going to show you at the end. One other thing is, and I'm going to go back to the beginning. If you find a product that you like, that you're using, and it can be it can be clothing, it can be a horse product, it can be anything, it doesn't matter, it can be a toy, whatever world you're in, start hashtagging a company with the kind of videos that I was just talking about before you pitch. Okay, so if you hashtag my company and I don't know who you are, and you hashtag them and you show some pictures of a before and after this and that, it's going to get our attention. We're going to see that. We've been hashtagged. We're getting the notification. We know that. So if we see 3 or 4 of those and we start recognizing your name, and then we get a letter, that's going to be so much bigger and so much better of a presentation than anything else you could do. Literally anything else you can do. So keep that in mind. Be proactive. If you're looking at this as a job, then treat it as a job. You've got to do homework. You've got to do your job. And that's to give us a reason to help you. Again, whether it's product or whether it's money. So let's get into, I'm gonna cut in a couple of these really great pieces, and then we'll talk a little more after.
Boy, you should know what you're falling for. Baby, do you dare to do this? 'Cause I'm coming at you like a dark horse. Are you ready for a perfect?
That's great, right? That's fantastic content. And so, because it was such great content, we were able to take it into our world, readjust it, throw some stuff in there, repost it, which I'm going to show you here in a second, and then it's synergistically doing what it's supposed to do, and it's becoming a viral video because it's great content. It's exactly what we as manufacturers want and need, and we're able to reutilize it because we need content too. So the more of that kind of stuff that we can share, that we can readjust, that we can repitch out there is fantastic. So this is a good example, and then I'm going to roll some more stuff here right afterwards.
Boy, you should know what you're falling for. Baby, do you dare to do this? 'Cause I'm coming at you.
And it went like.
Those are great, right? Aren't they fantastic? It's going to make you, if you followed one of these gals, it is 100% going to make you click the link that they put in their deal, or it's going to make you jump on Google and see what this stuff is. So thank you again for the gals that I posted this on, and I've got a ton of those. So it's the difference between something aggressive on your part. That's the wrong word, but you're taking a stand. You're saying this is something that I stand up for, and this is why I stand up for it, and this is why I love it. And like Amber turned that into, just a really cool reel that was great, but it was 100% about our natural release, and it told a story, and it put it out in front of her people. And another great thing of this is that when you guys post, we want to share it. So we're not going to share stuff that isn't real specific. We are going to share stuff that is specific to our product. And so, some of these companies, we've got 14,000 followers, and so we're sharing out to our feed, we're shouting you out, and so there's a synergy that works there together versus just a normal post that doesn't show the product. I'm not going to share it. It doesn't mean anything to the folks that are my followers. And so anyway, go as specific as you can. And I know, some of you, you've got 1 million followers, you've got a lot of sponsors, you can't do this all the time. But at the same time, if you do it occasionally, and not only in stories. Stories disappear. Some folks will put 20 stories up in a day. And what we discovered is that even if you have 1 million followers with 20, 25 posts and stories a day, get completely lost. There's a window of about 20 minutes where that story is prominent on your feed. But if you're like me, and somebody does 20 stories, and this is just my own opinion, I don't have the time. I'm not going to look through 20 stories. I'm going to probably look at the one story that I get notified on. I'll open that. I'll see that story. I'll pop through the next couple, and then I'm moving on. I'm moving to the next. I just don't have time to look at all those stories. So that's my opinion, and your coaches will maybe be telling you something completely different, but you get lost in the weeds. As a manufacturer, you get lost in the weeds on somebody's feed that has all these stories. So stories are great, but posts are great. They're going to live. They're going to live there. So stories they're great, and I look at stories, but they get lost in 24 hours and they're gone. So make sure that you're taking care of your manufacturers in that you're doing posts as well that are going to actually live on for a while. I think that's it. I might do some follow-up depending on comments and whatnot that we get. Anyway, be aware of the people that you're asking to help you. I just thought of one more thing, and before I sign off, this one is really important to me. So you have to be aware of your brand. So when you're posting on Facebook and Instagram, you have a certain brand. You have to think of it that way, especially if you're looking for sponsors. And so your sponsors are doing the same thing. We have a brand that we have to fit into. And so when we first start sponsoring you, if your brand, if your Instagram page has a certain feel, a certain vibe, that's what we jumped onto. And then all of a sudden, if that vibe that you're doing all of a sudden moves into a different vibe, I'm going to use the word just because, but so let's say it turns more sexual. Well, I'm a family-based brand, education brand. We're wholesome in that world. And so all of a sudden, if I get stuff that's just a little too out there, and I'm not going to be able to keep you because it doesn't fit within my brand. It's either that, or I'm going to have to sort of ignore it, and I'm not going to be reposting your stuff unless it's just real specific. And then I have to think as a manufacturer, okay, so I've just reposted somebody's post, and I'm going to have to assume that my followers are going to click over to your page. You know, that's the whole point of all this stuff, right? So now all of a sudden they go to your page, and with the exception of that one deal that I might have shared, all of a sudden on your page is all of this stuff that is way off brand for me as a manufacturer. I don't want that to happen. And so all of a sudden I'm going to be reposting less of your stuff, and the enthusiasm on my side is going to go way down to the point where I'm going to have to call and say, we can't do this anymore. So you do have to be aware. If you're getting sponsors and you're doing that kind of thing, you have to think in my brain or in your sponsor's brain. You have to think about what they want to see. And if it's something that they don't want to see, you might have to reach out to them, and you might have to, again, you're taking this as a job, and you've made the choice to move your brand, change your brand. You might have to call them and have a conversation and say, hey, you know, I'm moving my thing, and I'm switching the way I'm doing things. Are you still okay with this? Again, if you're taking this as a job, you need to treat it as a job, and you need to take responsibility for what you're doing. Just taking pretty pictures and pretty videos is not it. That doesn't work for us. It needs to be specific. And so please just keep that in mind from our perspective. Go into our brains and go, you know, what does that guy want to see? All right. That's a little bit of a soapbox, but I will we'll do some more of these. I think this is fun, and I think it's valuable information. All right, again, Heath, Four Oaks Products. Take care.